This meeting is being recorded.
Shut up!
Welcome back to the Jojitorium. Well, I think remember too, whenever we found the German Scheiser corn. Let's not lie to each other. You're in twerk classes over there. That's
Yeah. That's all it is.
The fitness class.
Working on them TikTok videos you like so much.
Dead face. Got right in front of you. Welcome back to Jojitorium. You know who it is. It's Adam. It's Matt. We're decaying with the boys, and this will be the only time in this entire episode that we say CM Punk. Beer and fur babies go hand in hand, with several breweries and eateries becoming pup friendly. So what could be better than pairing beer with a charity for our furry friends in need? Brewing for a Cause is Pittsburgh's longest running charitable beer fest. For over 10 years, Brewing for a Cause has raised over $350,000 for charity, and this year aims to continue the trend. Scheduled for Saturday, October 28th, Brewing for a Cause will take over the Energy Innovation Center for an incredible event you do not want to miss. There's going to be over 100 beers to try, silent auctions, Chinese raffle baskets, a full buffet dinner with the purchase of your ticket, and pizza being sold by the slice by Caliente Pizza and Draft House. Here's a breakdown of the tickets. VIP is $65 with an hour entry early into the event with special beers that general admission just simply will not get. General admission at $50, designated drivers at $20. And if you don't have a DD, make sure you don't leave this party drunk. Grab a member of the Three Rivers Underground Brewers, the Trube unit, and they will get you home. Drink up, donate some money, but just make sure you tell them that the boys sent you.
Come on out.
Welcome back. We are 3 for 3, and the love that is coming to us from our listeners cannot be denied. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for every listen, comment, every message you guys send me to tell me I suck at music, and all the well wishes as well. You know, I'll take it all in stride. Deftones still suck. Fight me if you want to. We appreciate everything. I hope you guys will keep laughing with us, and we're going to be doing this for a long time. 90 seasons, 90 more seasons of Adam and Matt. 90 more seasons.
We better be doing it. We better be counting by the month then, because I ain't making it to 90 years.
Well, Adam, one thing we can count on, though, is that it is round one. We have a banger of a beer. Put that all together. What do we call it? Round one beers. So this is one that I like a lot. So I want to take the lead on this one, if you don't mind.
Go for it, man.
This is the combo move from Mondays and Cellar Works. This is Pondelny Pivo. It's a dark Czech style lager. This is brewed with our friends over at Monday in conjunction with Cellar Works. And like I said, this Czech style dark lager has a malt complexity bigger than its ABV would suggest. There's light coffee and chocolate with a hint of toffee. The low bitterness and a soft presence of all those flavors come together for a beer that shouldn't be a summer or hot weather treat, but it really is. So let's take a crack at this big boy and see what it tastes like. Adam, while you go ahead and take your first sip there, I'll get your opinion on this. I'm going to let you guys know you can check out Cellar Works Brewing by searching them out on all social media at Cellar Works Brewing on Facebook, Instagram, X, and they have their website, cellarbrewworks.com. And then Monday's Brewing can be found down there in Washington County, and you can find them on all social media. It's Monday Brewing on Facebook and Instagram. And Adam, I think you've had your first sip, so why don't you tell us all about it?
Yeah, I had a couple of these last night on draft, too. I was down at Monday's itself. But I love this beer. It's my second time having it. They made it last year, I think in the fall. And this version's even better than the last version. And I love the last version. I definitely get that toffee note. I get that coffee, and I get a lot of chocolate out of it. But it still finishes light and crisp, not super heavy, you know, not killing your palate. It's tasting good.
Yeah, I agree. There's enough roastiness on this thing where you would think it would be possibly like a higher ABV, but like I said, it clocks in under 5. It's a 4.7%. So this is one that you could have throughout the night and be completely fine. This is a knockout again this year, like it was last year. It wasn't even a year, was it? It was only a few months.
I don't even think it was a year. No.
1 year?
I don't even think a full year. I think they did it like last fall, and then they're doing it again this summer. So maybe like 9 months removed.
Well, 9 months too long. This should be on tap at all times.
Agreed.
Speaking of beer, while we sip on this wonderful combo move worthy of a Mortal Kombat fatality, we were at Barrel and Flow. This was hands down one of my favorite events. And I want to just do a brief review with you, man. But we got to start with the Bash Brew tent. They stuck us in a great spot, man.
Yeah, we were kind of like back center among all the food trucks. I will agree with you. This fest just keeps getting better every year for attending it and for serving at it. I loved it. Our beer went really well. The collab Rasman Cupcake Ale was flying out of our taps. We had a pretty consistent line the whole day, and somehow it like got out to the volunteers and the workers of the fest. So like when they were making their shift changes, like would get a line of yellow shirts every couple hours, which was fun. But it seemed like everybody liked it, and I loved being there.
Yeah, it was a fantastic event. I really liked about all this too is that people were very curious about how the beer was made. So it was really cool to see them kind of pick the beer apart a little bit and wonder, especially the cupcake ale, because once we said, hey, there's cupcakes, and like everyone's like, how did you do that? So it also got to be a situation where you got to be almost like a teacher at times too, where people were coming through wondering how this could be. And I thought you did a really good job because there was a varying degree of understanding. We had other brewers coming through that were just super into how it worked out, and then we had people who would admit they do not like beer. They were just there to take in the fest, and they would say this beer is the beer that makes them want to try more.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. That I love going to beer fest and talking not just about my beer, but just brewing beer in general. So any questions from any expertise level are always welcome at the Bash Brew table. And of course, the great help from you and Lori. I mean, we just had a great day out there. I think her signs were really pulling people in, especially, again, the cupcake one, I think was bringing on questions because it literally looked like a beer being poured and turning into a cupcake in a glass. And I think that piqued curiosity of a lot of people.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. And somebody was a slick little thief near the end of the fest there too, because we had the 4 cupcakes on the front of the table, and we said, everyone's like, can we have that? Can we have that? No. You have to go down to Darla's and get it from her. And somebody was a sticky little fingered thief there and took one from the front whenever the 3 of us were distracted talking to I think it was that one interview you guys were doing.
Yeah, it was a sweet young lady. I saw her taking it, but I was on mic, so I couldn't be like, hey, stop that.
Should have smacked her hand right in the middle of the interview.
Hopefully she passed Darnella's truck and also bought some cupcakes there. But she did swipe one of ours.
I can't blame her. Those cupcakes looked phenomenal.
They are delicious.
So, Adam, speaking of phenomenal, you also had an opportunity to walk around, just much like I did, and we tried some other beers, talked to some other people. So, I got to ask you real quick: are there any beers that you had that were knockout, something that you wish you could have right now?
Yeah. Funny enough, and for everybody that was there, they know too. We kind of got cut short. So, me and you and Lori all went out like an hour before the fest started and tried beers from whoever was set up. So I didn't try a lot of the locals collabs, but I'm taking care of that this week by heading out and trying them all in their tap rooms. So 2 of mine that I really liked were big collabs from outside of the city. One was the Windy Bridges, who is here in Pittsburgh, but he paired with Trogs, and they did a tropical stout that was really good. It was like the best balanced tropical stout I've ever had. Because the tropical stout, you get like, a little bit of fruit note, and it's a lighter, thinner stout, but you still need that roastiness and enough body to consider it a stout. And I thought they pulled that one off wonderfully. And then the second one I really liked was from Love City, and it was a Manhattan barley wine.
Ooh.
That just blew my fucking socks off. So that was probably my favorite of the festival.
Yeah, I was able to venture off, and I didn't get that barley wine. That sounds like that's right up my alley too. I got to go to a brewing company called Attic Brewing, and I believe I want to say they were out of Ohio. I think it's Ohio.
They were out of Philadelphia, sir.
Philadelphia. Thank you so much. And they kind of reminded me of what you guys do, because they love animals, or they hide kitty cats on all their logos and stuff. And they handed me it was like a darker style stout, but it was like a lower ABV, had just enough coffee hints to it where it was super balanced. I didn't think I was gonna have a stout during Barrel and Flow, but hey, this thing was, it was incredible. um that was fantastic. And then going over to another brewer, and I can't remember the name of it, but they had a rice lager. I'll have to look up and put it in the show notes. It's called a Yosoke. So it was their rice lager, and I ended up buying a t-shirt too. So I mean, it was probably one of the most crisp rice lagers I've ever had. And I took a sip out of the first one, slugged it, went right back in line and got another one because it was that good.
That might have been Cinderlands.
No, this one, they were from Michigan.
Oh, okay. Very cool. I missed that one.
They were tucked back in the corner, and I know I won't say I stole stickers. I took stickers from everybody that was handing out stickers. I don't want to sound like a thief too that stole a cupcake, but I have a bunch of stickers. So I'll have to go back and see if I can find it. Adam, did you meet anybody that you were trying to talk to? Anybody that was cool out there? Someone that you were kind of hunting down?
Yeah, funny enough, it was the collab with Attic Brewing. That's how I knew they were from Philly so quick. It was the Melanated Mash Makers, and they had a Belgian collab with Attic Brewing, which was good. The beer was great, but I was interested in who they were. They're a group of Delaware-based black homebrewers and different craft beer enthusiasts. Like, they don't all brew beer, but they're all into like learning about homebrewing. And they're just looking to bring more minorities and underrepresented folks into the homebrew scene and into the beer industry. So we were talking back and forth about homebrew clubs and what each club does for probably like 10-20 minutes. So yeah, it was really cool to meet them and just see an out of state homebrew club there. So that was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So that leads me to my other question I have for you then, Adam, being the reigning, defending homebrew champion of the Berg. Is there anybody that you were able to talk to, including Attic, that you would want to collaborate with? And if you could, what do you think you guys would make together?
Oh, that's a great question. Attic, I definitely would pair with them. They were very cool people. Probably get something dark with them. Maybe like a black IPA would be fun with them because they kind of had the animals and the heavy metal vibe going. And then a local guy. I still want to brew a beer with Windy Bridges. So me and Marcus have talked a few times. We're gonna make that happen. I think we're gonna do a hazy IPA someday.
Marcus has shown over the years that he is one hell of a brewer, and he really showed out too at Barrel and Flow. So I would love to see you guys put your very creative minds together. A hazy IPA from the two of you, that could be a showstopper, man.
Yeah, his tent was packed. He had merch going. He was looking on his way to pro for sure.
He's killing it. I can't wait to see what he does next, man. Speaking of what we're going to do next, Adam, while we continue to reminisce about Barrel and Flow and sip on this wonderful beer from our friends at Mondays and Cellar Works, we have to get into combat sports news because there's some stuff popping off. So from Buckle to Bellator and back, the boys bring you the best combat news in the biz. Adam, do you know that Bellator is approaching their 300th card?
I didn't until you sent me the show notes. That's amazing.
It is. As the quote unquote little brother to the UFC, Bellator has shown at times where they can book very well and when they don't book very well. But they've been getting pretty steady in signing some consistent talent and bringing some fight cards to fans that want the alternative to the UFC and aren't quite into the PFL's regular season and playoff. So Bellator, much aligned with UFC and how they construct their cards, is going to bring the heat on October 7th. This is a historic card. There's going to be 4 championship matches on the slate with some familiar names to stoke up the flames of MMA fans' interest. So first and foremost here, we're going to see veteran Ryan Bader, who's coming in with the heavyweight championship belt, going against Linton Vassell. Both of these guys are no strangers to each other or to the cage. Bader's coming in at 32-7-0 with Linton Vassell coming in at 23-8-0. Odds aren't in yet because there's just too much time between now and October 7th. but early fan fervor, they're leaning towards Bader just because of the experience, the heavy hands, and the ability to hit stuff ground game. And Vassal's known for his wrestling.
Yeah, Bader, of course, coming into the UFC at the time as like a major wrestling star and like phenom, but he's since changed over to more of a striker. Yeah, and Vassal, I mean, Vassal's coming off a pretty hot win streak. He's got 6 in a row, including avenging his last loss. So he lost a decision all the way back in 2019, and he just avenged that in March by knocking that man out. So he's coming in on a roll here.
Speaking of on a roll, the next fight we're going to talk about right here is the women's featherweight championship with renowned fighter Chris Cyborg bringing in the championship strap, coming in at 26-2-0 versus Kat Zingano at 14-4-0. This is going to be, I believe, the first time these two are clashing. I might be wrong with that, but I think this is the first time they're coming together. And this is going to be one hell of a fight because Cyborg's gotten a little older and Kat Zingano has kept her speed.
Yeah, Kat's again coming in on a 4, at least her last 4 fights in Bellator, she has won. So again, coming in hot, only fighting about once a year, so maybe a little fresher. Maybe that's helping keep the speed up, getting a little more rest in between training camps. It should be a good fight now that Cyborg's not quite as dominant as she once was. She's shown some weaknesses, so see if Kat can capitalize on those.
Absolutely. And then we move on to the lightweight, which is a lightweight championship, which is also the lightweight Grand Prix semifinal. And I'm going to screw this name up entirely. So if you want to take a shot at this one and I'll break down the action after you say the names, I'd gladly do that.
Who's that? Usman Nurga. Of course, it's Usman Nurmagomedov, dude.
And then going against Brent
Nurmagomedov. There, I said it. Nurmagomedov.
We're gonna go with Usman on that.
Yep, not Kamaru Usman, but it's his first name.
Right. Going against Brent Primus. And I'm actually not super familiar with these two guys. But I believe if Usman's coming from that, I think it's the Fighting Eagles camp.
Yes, he is in Dagestan.
He's a Dagestani, so he is going to be a fucking strike house, man. So he's gonna throw heavy hands. I'm gonna have to find more tape on Primus, but I don't know, man. The Eagles, those Dagestanis, man, they know how to brawl.
Yeah, they can hit, and they're exceptionally good wrestlers. And it looks like Primus is mostly a striker. Oh no, actually he's a jiu-jitsu black belt. Boy, I don't know if that's going to help against a Dagestani though. That's going to be tough.
Because we've seen at times too, Dagestani based fighters, they have great fight camps. They have no problem turning the match into the opposite of their opponent to try to psych them out. You know, we've seen great legends fall to Dagestani fighters for that very reason. So who knows what's going to happen?
He did beat Michael Chandler all the way back in 2017.
That says something right there, man.
So there you go, Primus. You got one good win. He also lost to him after that.
Rubber match.
He beat Benson Henderson in 2021 by decision. I don't know. Like, his fight record of his late, no big names on it, and not actually a lot of wins. He's kind of 50-50 in his last 5 or 6 fights here.
So we go into the last of the 4 championship fights here. We have Liz Carmouche coming in at 19-7-0, bringing in the flyweight championship belt, going against Lima Lay McFarland at 13-2-0. Right now, I think this is going to be the biggest upset. I think McFarland is coming in with the best striking in jiu-jitsu that Liz Carmouche has ever seen, and I think she's going to get a run for her money. I don't think it's going to be a runaway match, but I think McFarland's going to take it in decision. That's my guess.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Yeah.
McFarland is the Hawaii State Wrestling Champion, former Hawaiian State Wrestling Champion, and I think she's going to get her ass beat by Carmouche. I don't think Liz is going to be surprised at all, and I think she will win by decision.
You think it's still going to go decision either way?
Yeah, I think it's going to be Carmouche by decision, though.
Okay, well, we can definitely agree it's going to go the distance. I think these two women are going to just lay it all out. They're
Yeah, I
not
think
gonna
they're
stop.
going to grapple a lot. I think it's going to be unless somebody gets caught in a submission. I think it'll definitely go to decision.
Yeah, I can agree with that, but I'm still riding the McFarland train.
Scaramouche.
So speaking
Scaramouche.
of Scaramouche. So speaking of female fighters, the PFL, the Pro Fighter League, struck a deal with Clarissa Shields, widely known as the best pound for pound female boxer on the planet, and she's going to make her return to MMA in 2024. Shields, who is 28 years old, is no stranger to the cage, going 1-1 in 2021 with her first bout ending in a TKO and then a loss as a result of a split decision in her second fight. The biggest thing that I want to draw attention to here, though, is after that loss, Shields then jumped back into the boxing ring where she defended her middleweight belt on 3 separate occasions on only a 16-month time frame.
Very nice.
Absolute boon to that entire division. Shields is going to bring a dynamic striking to that, and PFL is just getting stronger and stronger and stronger, which is probably why PFL is looking to merge with Bellator. Boom, boom, boom. Fans have clamored for a competitor to the juggernaut MMA promotion, the UFC, for years. And their dreams may have come true now as the rumor mill continues to swirl that PFL president Ray Sefo reportedly is in heavy and progressive talks with Bellator for a merger.
Yeah, those two could really put a dent in the fight game. That's for sure.
And two, when you take the two styles, the PFL, like I had said earlier in the episode, is known for the regular season and playoff format, but lacks pay-per-view credibility. While Bellator, as we've seen in Bellator 300, is getting way better at stacking cards for pay-per-view sale.
Yeah, I agree. I wonder which kind of concept they will go with. I don't think you could successfully do both. You're gonna have to pick one.
Yeah, if you could, then which one would you want to see them go with?
I really like them having the seasons and the playoffs, to be honest. I think the PFL setup is more unique and is different enough from the UFC. You might bring some new eyes to the product.
I agree. A different format, how they structure the fights is definitely the way I want to see it go. And I like to see what they can come up with. So the other thing we're going to go to, Adam, is a new segment, which we call Going Over or Jobbing. Adam, you tell me if this is fact or cap. Bleacher Report wrote up the biggest breakout star of the year thus far from the squared circle, and they chose Dominic Mysterio as number 1. Are you buying that? Is it going over or is it jobbing?
I think that's a jobber opinion. He's done well, but the best breakout star. I don't think so. I'd go with he's new to the main roster. I'd go with Walter or whatever they're calling him, Gunther. I think would be my breakout.
I would too. I would say someone like him would be the number 1 breakout star because he is becoming the most historic Intercontinental Champion of all time with his title run. So why not put it on someone like him? And I understand Dominic Mysterio is getting that heat where he can barely talk into the microphone when he picks it up, but
right,
come on, man, like you gotta
he is doing really well.
Yeah. So
what about that young go-getter and upstart Chad Gable? He's getting pretty hot.
He's gone. See you later. Reports are saying he's out, man. They're thinking he may not come back.
Yeah, if they don't throw him in a good program, he should go, to be honest.
Yeah, I concur with that. It looks like he may return to the Olympic wrestling team, I think was the last report I saw, but I mean, who knows? He had that one match against Baron Corbin on NXT and fans took a shit all over it.
They took a big old Corbin on it, huh?
Big old end of days, really. It was a big old end of days. So, Adam, do you believe that Adam Cole will turn full heel on MJF at All In? Going over or jobbing?
I think that's jobbing. I think we are seeing that MJF could potentially be a babyface right now, but he's just too good as a heel. You can't. I mean, unless they both end up heel, I don't know how you do that. But I mean, Adam Cole's a good heel too, but nothing on MJF. And I think Adam Cole is still loved by the fans, so keep him babyface until he gets a faction around him.
I think I'm in the same vein as you, except I think I'm going to say it's going over because I think Adam Cole is going to turn heel on MJF to keep MJF this crazy babyface turn, but he'll be like kind of like anti-hero-ish as a babyface. but I want to see Adam Cole start to build the new undisputed era around him, because Roderick Strong is still out there trying to figure out where he belongs in all this.
Yeah, he's being a little whiny bitch.
Yes, he is.
I hurt my neck. You were my friend.
I don't understand how you can wear a neck brace for that long for a sprained neck.
I don't know. He wasn't wearing it at the Pro Wrestling Gorilla show this weekend.
Well, you're just breaking kayfabe, Rod. You're breaking kayfabe. Last but not least, here before we move into some commercials, Jake Paul believes that he can totally beat, not just beat, but dominate Nate Diaz in MMA after only 1 full year of training in the PFL.
Not a chance. That's jobbing. Sorry, I forgot to use the right lingo. I was so
it's a brand new
disgusted by
segment. We're getting used to it.
What is it? Going over fucking bullshit? That's fucking bullshit, man.
Yeah. I agree. There's no way. Nate Diaz's whole entire career has been scrapping in the streets to then bring that style into the octagon, and he's refined it. I mean, the guy he's MMA incarnate. He's the first guy to really give Conor McGregor a run for his money and then rode that wave. He's only fought top 10 fighters his entire career.
Yeah.
So
And
Jake Paul's gonna step in there with
jiu-jitsu-
a year of training. Get out of here.
Yeah, he's a jiu-jitsu expert. So like with a year of training, you're not going to have the ground game to even defend what he's doing, let alone beat him on the ground.
Yeah. So that leads me to ask you another question. It's like just your opinion. So
Sure.
let's say Jake Paul does have to set up his first MMA fight in the PFL. Is there anybody, because that whole Elon Musk and Zuckerberg thing fell through and that was supposed to be like a nerd super fight. Who would you pick for Jake Paul for his first PFL fight? Let's say he gets a year of training. Is there somebody out there, do you think, that has like similar like build and background?
We're not allowed to say his name, but CM Punk.
Well,
I think
we're breaking
I think
our
that'd be
rules.
interesting.
That would be interesting. Jake Paul would probably get the win on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really familiar with like amateur guys coming up right now. So everybody I can think of in MMA would totally outclass him. So we'll go with somebody that never really got his feet off the ground in Phil Brooks.
What's the name of that one actor? He like surprised everybody by coming out and rolling in a Brazilian jiu-jitsu tournament. God,
Oh shoot.
he was in Legend.
Yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he was Bronson. He was in Venom. Like I can't.
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
Let him do it.
Tom Hardy?
Tom Hardy. Let Tom Hardy do it.
I'd love to see Tom Hardy beat his ass.
Yeah, because Tom Hardy has the wrestling. He probably, I don't know if he has the striking, but he won like several jiu-jitsu tournaments. So you got 1 year under Jake Paul, who has the youth and the size, and he has striking. Put him in there with, I don't know why Tom Hardy's been doing jiu-jitsu all these years here, but put him in with Tom Hardy and see what happens.
You know what would have been a moneymaker that's impossible to do now because one party has passed? But if you got him in there against the Green Ranger, Jason David Frank or whatever, that would have been a good pay-per-view.
I would have been all for that. I think that would have been a really good idea, and it would have had like nostalgia to it too. And could you imagine everyone getting behind the Green Ranger and everyone cosplaying as the Green Ranger?
Like the third round, he just comes out as the White Ranger instead and like blows the flute and just kicks his ass.
And then he like almost like pistol whips Jake Paul with the flute with a tiger on it.
Yeah.
Oh, so we can only dream. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, White and Green Ranger. I miss you every day, especially because I knew you could probably beat Jake Paul's ass. But speaking of beating Jake Paul's ass, we have to go into a break. I don't know if that has to do with anything, but we still don't have any sponsors, but we still have friends. So you're going to hear from one of them right now. And if you like us, go support them, because you support them, then you support us. And when you support us, we get to keep doing some pretty cool stuff. So we'll see you on the other side.
Our friends could kick his ass.
Fancy taking a humorous trip down a random topic each week? You do? Well, you're in luck. Casting Views, presented by me, Dan, and a host of guests, bring you just that. With topics from the world of entertainment, science, sport, and everyday life, there's bound to be a topic that's going to inform and amuse. Catch Casting Views every Sunday on all listening platforms now.
This is Josh Scar from Talking Smack. You're in the Jojitorium with Adam and Matt on Decaying with the Boys.
Welcome back. Hopefully you heard something of our friends that you like. Because again, when you listen to them, you come back, listen to us, and then you listen to them, and we all go viral. Then we just be podcasters. That's all we really want to do. But until then, you're stuck listening to us, and but that's not so bad though, is it? So we are in round two. Adam, since we are from our own respective homes for this one, you had to bring your own beer and I had to bring my own beer. I'm gonna let you go first, but when we put it all together, we're gonna call it round two beers. I'll let you go first, man. What did you bring to the table?
So I brought a little something from our friends at Old Thunder Brewing. It is their 340 lager. It is a Munich Helles. That is kind of what I would say their flagship up there. It's on every time I'm there. It's usually the top of the menu. And it's just a solid lager. Not even solid. It's really fucking good, actually. So, solid is a poor description of it. And they're right there, kind of up your way in Blawnox. I'm gonna crack it.
Go for it. Ooh, sound effects. So while you're checking yours out to give us some insight on their sips here, I'm gonna let you know that I also brought a beer here. It's from another one from Cellar Works. This is their Big Stream Kolsch. This bad boy is clocking in at 5%, just like any good Kolsch should. It's a light lager-esque ale featuring snappy bitterness, clean, crisp profile, and a crackery finish. I'm also going to go ahead and give it a little sound effect here. That was a full can. I just got a money shot right to the face.
Yeah, I saw that.
So if you want to...
on a webcam, nonetheless. How interesting.
If you want to know what's going on with Cellar Works, again, just search them out all social media at Cellar Works Brewing. And then also, if you want to check out Old Thunder, you search them out all social media, Old Thunder Brewing. Both of them have great tap rooms. Check them out, get some beers. Adam, you took your first sip. Tell the people all about it.
Oh, it's so good. So yeah, it's a nice pale golden straw color. Drinks very light, nice malty taste, but then it fades to just a crisp, clean finish. Nothing really lingering on it. You just kind of get that malt that hits your tongue and goes away, and you kind of want to just come back for more of it.
And that's kind of along the same lines of mine too. Just it's a Kolsch, it's a clean Kolsch. It has a lot of it has a lot of flavor to it, despite being super clean. That crackery finish they talk about definitely sticks. It gives like I like to say the lay potato chip effect. You want another sip. But the good thing about this one is that it's so smooth. It's kind of like maybe the most refreshing beer I've had today.
Almost tied with the Pivo, right?
Almost, yes. The Pivo, there I actually have another can in my fridge that is probably going to be my midnight snack for tomorrow. But for right now, I have 3 more cans of this Kolsch, so I may just be slow sipping these for the rest of the night while I enjoy. Well, it is Wednesday night, so you know what that means. AEW comes on, so I'll be watching that while I sip some more Kolsch's.
Like Perry's gonna cry himself to sleep. I mean, yes,
Yes. So, Adam, we are going into a part of the show where normally we bring the best of the best to people's attention. However, we got to say it's getting into football season, a time where we drink a ton of garage beers, bitch about the secondary that we have no idea how it works, and we just simply pray for hockey season. But most importantly, we eat snacks. However, there comes a time we have to let our friends know that their snack choices absolutely suck. So to be good people to our fans, our listeners, Adam, I challenge you to help our listeners by constructing the Mount Rushmore of absolutely fucking terrible snacks that no one should have during any sporting event or probably ever if there's beer involved.
So almost the opposite of a Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, what would you call this?
I don't know. It'd be like a pit.
Yes.
The pit.
St. Pitmore.
The pit. the pit filled with Brewdog.
Yes. Elvis juice just all down the bottom. So, Adam, much like a Mount Rushmore, you've constructed your 4 picks. I got my 4 picks, but we're going to go for the bottom of the barrel here. And then from our 8, which should be a precautionary tale in itself, we're going to pick the top 4 worst snacks. So whenever you're going to your friend's house, you can warn them ahead of time. Don't have this shit or I'm going to walk it right out of there. All right.
I like it. I like it.
So Adam, I realize that I let you go first a lot, so I'm gonna take the first spot here if you don't mind.
Go for it.
So my number one pick for worst snacks, and I know I'm gonna get some hate for this, but if I show up to watch a football game and you got some fucking fig Newtons sitting on a tray waiting for me to eat those while I drink any kind of beer, you, sir, or madam, or whomever, have lost all my respect. Could you imagine just the farts that come along with a tray of Fig Newtons and Bud Light?
Nothing like Bud Light and sponges. Great.
So with
Yeah,
my-
fig Newtons are pretty bad. Especially the traditional fig ones are the worst.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of some of the fruit. Well, I'm not a fan. I'll eat some of the fruit ones. I'm not a fan of any of them.
No, they're
But
terrible.
but I will say I don't know if it's the worst possible snack. Like you're putting that as your most hated.
Yeah, I would say because and I'm putting it in context too. Like if I'm going to a football party or a hockey party or something, and like their main thing is like, well, we got Fig Newtons right there. I'm leaving. Fig
I'm
Newtons?
questioning their sanity. Like some huck it, chuck it football and fig Newtons.
Well, if you think you have a better first of the worst, what is it?
I do, because I do like going into a party and seeing a nice spread of like some chips and dip maybe, or a meat and cheese charcuterie platter. But then what's always right in between the two? Vegetables, a crudité platter. Crudité is my number one worst snack at a party. Especially and you got to but it can be propped up by a dip. It's always ranch, which is the worst condiment there is. So crudité can go into the pit of Elvis juice
Yes.
and drown.
Crudité, again, I think it kind of goes back to anything that you're going to make me eat while I drink that makes me fart and want to crap my pants. I probably don't want to eat it.
Oh, a nice fibrous raw broccoli with some Michelob Ultra. Then you gotta squeeze cheeks the whole drive home. Oh man,
And ranch, just to lube it all up.
you're either gonna have to squeeze cheeks the whole way home or clog your buddy's toilet.
Well, we know one person that would eat that crudité tray. So Adam, for my number 2 pick, because I'm not 1,000 fucking years old, they're Triscuits. Terrible. My number 2 pick is Triscuits. I don't want to eat a fucking haystack. I don't care. Like, oh, if you put stuff on it, it makes it better. If you put like a spread on it, if you put cheese and like ham on it, it makes it. No, it doesn't. It tastes like crap. It gets stuck in your teeth. It dries your mouth out. It's not salty enough. They're trash. It's a trash snack.
Yeah, you're just trying to cover it with a better snack, but it doesn't make anything better. It just brings that good snack down. It's trash.
Yeah, 1,000% it's trash.
Where do I go? I thought you would have stole one of mine by now, but you haven't. So for my number 2, in a similar vein to your Triscuits, I'm going to go with the almighty rice cake because it just tastes like a disc of styrofoam. I don't care if you put salt on it, butter on it. They have cinnamon sugar ones. It all tastes like styrofoam. You might as well go eat the pink fiberglass insulation out of the attic because it's going to make your stomach feel better than that rice cake.
The good old Pink Panther.
Yep. Get some Pink Panther and watch some fucking penguins.
Well, it's like the same thing. If you just took some cinnamon and just dusted over the Pink Panther and ate that, it's the same thing as a rice cake.
Pretty much. A little bit better texture on the Pink Panther.
Yeah. Yeah, just a little bit. Better flavor profile, I'd say. Better mouth feel.
Yeah, I like how it makes my gums bleed.
Yeah. I like how I die when I eat it. So, Adam, with my number 3, I got to take the ultimate swerve here because sometimes you go to a friend's house that, you know, you're constantly jealous, man. They got a 6-pack. They're always in shape. They're always doing the right thing. They just make you feel like a bigger piece of shit than you can already make yourself feel like. That's because they're eating seaweed chips. Have you seen these things? Seaweed.
I actually have on my long list. I have something similar, which are kale chips, which I would count as the same fucking thing.
Yeah, it's the worst thing ever. I don't care how salty or briny they might be. It's nothing. It's crap. Why the fuck would I want to eat seaweed when I'm slugging beers and yelling at Kenny Pickett because he has small hands?
I'm a real fat piece of garbage, and I'd rather starve than eat seaweed chips.
Yep.
I will starve. I will take a Malkin slap shot to my groin before I'd eat a seaweed chip.
Well, I would say too, you would still starve if you ate the seaweed chips because there's nothing to them. Seaweed is like is a whisper of air, just green.
You gotta look at it this way. There's all those bottom feeding fish in the ocean. They don't even eat it. That's how bad seaweed is. They
just
leave it
shit
for
on
us.
it.
Yeah. It's their toilet paper.
Yeah. And then you just go ahead and you freeze dry and put it in your mouth. You sick
Dang.
bastards.
They ain't got no bidets. They got salt water.
What's your number 3, man?
All right, I'm going to start jabbing into what people actually eat here a little bit. For number 3, if you're too freaking dull and lame to enjoy salsa, you might enjoy hummus. Hummus is my number 3 because it just tastes like grainy melted crayons. So have fun with that.
I feel like our number 3s go hand in hand. I feel like the same person who has the seaweed chips also has hummus.
They're dipping it in hummus.
Just cracking it because they're so brittle because they're just healthy. They just crack off in the hummus, and now you just got seaweed. What is it like? Usually roasted pine nut hummus.
Yeah. Oh, pine nut hummus is the worst hummus. You just picked it out of the thin air.
Which is the one you find in abundance.
Isn't it always pine nut? Is like it's always there.
Oh yeah, every time. Like there's a spicy one. I hear stories of a spicy hummus. I've never seen it because it's probably the only one that's good and everyone buys it.
Just eat salsa, lamos.
Guacamole.
I don't trust something that looks like a turd in the tub already. Like, it's gonna look like that at 6 a.m. too.
Hummus looks like my doo-doos after beer fest.
If you ate a bunch of sawdust.
Which I ate a bunch of seaweed chips before I went to the beer fest. Yeah.
There you go.
So Adam, my number 4, it may ruffle feathers. I don't know. And it's kind of like an encompassing kind of thing here. It's not one singular thing. So bear with me. Maybe you're going to throw a penalty flag on this one. But I don't want you to serve me your first attempt at making anything. If I show up and it's like, this is my first time making pumpkin seeds. This is my first time making a pepperoni roll. This is my first time making my own pizza dough. Fuck off. I don't want to be your test subject because you probably suck at it. I don't want it. So for my 4th pick, I don't want your first attempt food.
I am throwing the flag on that. I don't like that.
Why not?
I think you should pick first at something at least.
Okay. I would say then your first attempt at something ridiculous. First attempt at, I always keep thinking pumpkin seeds. I've never had a good first try at pumpkin seeds from anybody.
I've never had a good pumpkin seed, so I'll accept that.
So we'll go with pumpkin seeds.
Yeah, they suck.
For many reasons. So we'll just pick pumpkin seeds, but I'm still going to go back to say, I don't want your first attempt at anything. I don't want to be the person you're like, I'm going to try to make like Scotch eggs and serve them to you for the first time ever.
Oh, that's risky. That's risky. You're getting salmonella.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like if steak is to sunflower seeds as pumpkin seeds are to bologna. Like pumpkin seeds are the bottom of the seed world.
Do you want to know my beige flag? That's what the kids are saying now.
What is a beige flag? Is that made of hummus?
Like yeah, definitely. But it's a red flag, but it's beige. I don't know why the delineation's that way, but I tried to make pumpkin seeds one time and it was an epic fail. I just burnt the shit out of them because I wasn't paying attention. I didn't care.
They deserved it.
They did. I like had all these pumpkins I carved. I was like, I have handfuls of seeds. I should try. I'll look it up online and see what I can make. I made them. I tried the first handful. I'm like, these are trash. And then I got a bag of ones from like a Sheets. I'm like, these are also trash. So then I just remembered, oh yeah, pumpkin seeds are fucking trash.
Get yourself some David sunflower seeds and live your lovely life, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I went
Don't,
right back.
don't
to
waste your
that.
time. Don't waste your time in the gutter with this pumpkin seeds.
Speaking of the gutter, Adam, you're up to your fourth pick now. What are you going to round it out with?
Well, I think I was pretty nice so far, but now it's a bonfire. Lights out. I'm coming to burn down everything you motherfuckers care about because I'm coming after a classic from our childhood. And as an adult, if I go to your sporting event at your house and on that dais of wonderful food, there's some shitty, half leaking out Totino's pizza rolls, I'm leaving. Totino's pizza rolls are my number 4.
Those Dino's pizza roll. You really don't like those?
Not as an adult man, no, I don't.
What
Let's
you-
all scrap together 2 of our dollars and buy a regular pizza and not suffer through this shit.
I agree.
We're adults. We're adults. Oh, Chuck, you only have 50 cents? That's fine. No toppings for you, but you can pitch in for pizza.
You can contribute to the tip.
I'd rather eat Little Caesars.
Oh, that's saying something, man.
I'd rather bring Foodland back from the dead and eat one of their frozen pizzas. That's how bad. It's actually pretty equivalent to that.
Yeah, I was going to say that those two things kind of strike me as the same thing because you can never, no matter what vehicle of cooking you put them to, microwave, oven, now air fryer, probably, they never come out the right way.
No,
And then
and they're
secondly-
inconsistent within each other. Like you'll get one that's dried out and burnt to a crisp with all the shit that's spilled out already. And then the next one you'll chip your tooth on because it's an ice cube. Like there's no consistency.
I was going to say, because the second part of my thing was too, is like you get the one that's hiding like a hot rock of lava. You're like, oh, cold, kind of lukewarm. Then you pop one in your mouth. You're like, oh, cool. You're doing the reverse blow thing. You're trying to drink some water.
Oh, that was a little piece of Satan.
Oh, that was the one that was actually cooked. No way.
Oh, guys, it still hurts.
So, Adam, we have 8 terrible snacks that we have to pick the top worst 4. So, what's your pitch?
To be fair, everything on your list was on my list somewhere, just not in my top 4. Except for pumpkin seeds. I think you got to put crudité in though. I mean, vegetables for a sporting event. Word up to my vegans, but there's better choices.
How about crudité at number 3?
Okay. Actually, you can't even do crudité because there's dairy and ranch, I think. So
Yeah,
it's not even vegan friendly. It's just
just terrible. Terrible for everybody.
celery. Ugh.
I venture to say, Adam, I want to put Tostino's pizza rolls at number 1.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
Thank you. Because now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I can't remember a time I had one of those and I was like, this is a good decision. I like what I've done here.
And if we haven't cast aside enough of our listeners with that hot take, bagel bites, far superior.
Oh yeah.
Not great, but far superior.
Like,
And I'm still not eating those. After I turn 30, don't need those anymore. Papa
No,
got a
I can't.
paycheck.
We can't eat any of that stuff anymore. Like our cholesterol and everything just spikes up when we look at a bag of apples. So consuming bagel bites would just kill us.
As soon as humble brag, as soon as I stopped going to a Coinstar every week and started getting direct deposit, I don't need bagel bites or Tostino's pizza rolls anymore. I'm an adult.
I think as a punishment for one of the bets of doom, one of us is going to have to eat a tray of bagel bites and pizza rolls.
Oh, dude. I mean, if they're in front of me, I'll eat them until I gorge myself. But
Do your trash.
I won't be smiling the whole time.
I'm the same way. I think you and I are just like trash pandas. We're definitely raccoons when it comes to that.
You should have to bite the pizza rolls in half, fill them with hot sauce, and then eat it.
Oh, that's really a good idea, though. We'll have to talk after the show. A little R&D.
No, I like that. I like that. Yeah. So, I mean, with our hot takes since coming back, me hating pizza rolls and you hating the Deftones, like we're gonna have no listeners by October.
Yeah, but we're gonna go out the way we wanted to.
They'll come back. They'll come back for the Halloween season.
Oh, they will. Spooky season brings everyone back in. Everyone's a basic bitch when it comes to October. So, Adam, I want to make a pitch here and say I want to put Triscuits at number 2.
I guess.
Only because
I think that also kind of covers rice cakes. They're very similar.
yeah, and also too, I think everything we see on here you could put on a Triscuit and somebody like it's an artisanal Triscuit. Look at that.
Right. Yeah, I really would like them to be blown off the face of the earth.
So number 4.
I'd go with hummus, dude.
Yeah, I was thinking hummus too, just because
Yeah.
it's like the most amorphous, like Jabba the Hutt pile of shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, and I mean Fig Newtons are bad, but like they got sugar at least. So
Yeah.
strong play. Definitely the worst cookie ever made.
Yeah.
Well, that's with only like 2 minutes of thinking, but a really bad cookie. But hummus is a worse snack.
Yeah, I can't I can have some Fig Newtons with my coffee and feel okay about it. I can't have hummus with my coffee and feel okay physically or mentally.
Very nice. Yeah, I had a couple controversial ones, but Tino's is definitely the
So Adam, we are looking at the pit of despair here as we see the BrewDog pit of BS Elvis juice. We have pizza rolls, Triscuits, crudité, and hummus. What a terrible lineup.
throw it in the pit.
But if you guys out there have snacks that you've seen at parties and you think they're trash and even trashier than the ones that we picked, or you want to fight us on our picks, you know how to hit us up. We're Decay and WTB on all social media and decayandwtb@gmail.com. We'll debate you. You're probably wrong, but we'll give you your time.
Matt, I just thought of a better thing than the pit of Brewdog.
What's that?
The opposite of Mount Rushmore would be the Monongahela River.
Yeah, the bottom of the Mon. That's what these
Yeah.
are. It's the bottom
they're
of
in the Mon. We'll throw them in the river.
Nice. The bottom of the Mon. That's what we're
Overrated.
gonna name that. I'll make sure I put that in the show notes so
an
we
overrated
never
river.
forget.
It's an overrated river. It's more like a big creek.
So Adam, we are moving into your favorite segment of the podcast. Questions from the internet. Adam, did you hear about the Toxic Avenger remake or reimagining with Peter Dinklage as Toxie? If I am now just informing you, are you excited?
Yeah, I did see that earlier this week, and I am excited. I know that Troma is still involved. I think they're part of the production team at least. But it's getting a little bit more of a budget. I just hope they don't neuter it. You know what I mean? Like, I hope they keep it gross and keep it sleazy. So, but yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, me too.
I
I
want to
think
see a trailer for it.
Yeah, I want to see the trailer, but I also think too, casting Peter Dinklage, he's down for anything. He's totally fine with whatever they pitch for him. So I think if they're like, hey man, we want you to throw up like green toxic ooze, he's gonna be like, okay, do you want me to do it like 3 or 4 times? Like
Right.
so staying in the world of horror, Adam, if you could, what horror movie would you pick to reboot from the ground up?
So like it took me a while to think about it, and then like a very obvious choice came to mind, and it would be the Phantasm series. Just start it from scratch, and make it not so clunky and like complicated. Like a little bit more of a focused storyline, I think would help that whole series out.
Yeah, I agree with that. Phantasm is one of my favorite like horror series, and it's I think it's kind of I like it because it's so disjointed. I guess it appeals to just my shattered brain whenever I'm watching. I'm like, there's a million things going on, but there's a tall man and he yells at people and he has another world and there's gremlins that rip people apart and balls that have spikes. I'm fine.
It's all good.
Boy.
What's your rebooter?
Oh gosh, if I had to pick one, I would say probably Critters. I would like to take Critters because it was a great B movie that you would watch late at night, and there's like 10 of them. There's lots of material to work with, but I think if you took it and made it more serious, not as tongue in cheek, like really made like alien invasion, ruthless, but had like little sprinkles of funny in it, you could really make like a murder fest, alien invasion kind of situation. And I've always liked Critters. I actually went and bought, I think it was like the first 4 films were in like this nice little pack, and I ended up buying that. They were the Criterion, the boxes. So, dude, it was really cool, and I love them. So yeah, I would pick Critters.
Very nice.
Yeah, could you imagine like Ryan Gosling being one of the bounty hunters or something?
Oh, right.
So,
That'd be pretty
Adam,
cool.
last question here before we move on to the final part of the show. What is the song that your go-to jam for a packed bar during karaoke night?
Ooh, it's a great question. I think I'd go with packed. So it's a packed house. There's a crowd.
Yes,
And am I on a stage? Because this
Yes.
is important.
you're
Okay,
elevated
perfect.
above them.
perfect. I'm gonna go with Goo Goo Dolls Iris then, and stare directly at one guy or girl in the audience and just make it real passionate.
Oh yeah, dude. You have to.
Yeah. Because the whole song's about just stalking somebody.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like, yeah. You feel like I might show up in your closet later? Give him a good. Plus, it's just a killer song.
The banger of a song. Really. I thought you'd pick Slide.
Nah, see, that one's a little too upbeat. I like to be romantic, especially when like everybody's having a good time and really
Bring it down.
partying. I like to bring it down. Bring it
Ruin
all the
this
way
mood
down.
real quick.
Yeah. Let me just make this creepy and make a bunch of people close their tab.
I go in a whole different direction. I like to go with a song that just really got us, just on the dance floor as kids. And I like to go with Pony by Genuine.
I've seen you do that, actually.
Yes. And I get the moves too. Like I really get the gyrations going. And
That's
yeah.
what would the kids say? That's bussin'. That's not cap. That's bussin'. You actually
It's
do that.
bussin'. Yeah. There's no cap there. I'm up there.
No cap.
I'm laying it down. People come to
I'm gonna get
karaoke
this
to
laid
watch me do that.
No beige flag there.
No, only red flags.
I'm gonna dig into what the lore of the beige flag is. That's for sure.
On the next episode, let's dig into beige flags and see if we have any.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm down for that.
Cool.
Tease for next week.
That sounds good to me. But before we go ahead and sign off, Adam, let's tell everybody what's on tap and where can you find us?
Yeah, so right now we have a very little bit of the Jojinator, which is the Orange Blossom Honey Double West Coast IPA that we had at Barrel and Flow, coming in at 9%. We probably have like 6 bottles of that. So hit me up quick if you want any, and I'll get it to you. Other than that, we have a little bit of dad shoes on. And next up on where to find us is the North Hills Brew Fest on August 26th out in Cheswick, PA at the Shriners Pavilion. Get your tickets now. They're on sale. They're going. They're moving. And I will announce we are taking our retired double agent jalapeno pineapple double hazy IPA to that event, as well as a new beer for us. It's an Italian Pilsner that is still needs a sign. So you'll see the name for that one soon, but it will be an Italian Pilsner. They are both in the kegs now, carbing up, getting ready, and can't wait to try them. Then other than that, we have Crush and Brew on September 9th up in Ambridge, PA at Old Economy Village. And then on October 28th, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, we have Brewing for a Cause out at the Energy Innovation Center downtown. So keep your calendars marked, and there might be more coming from what I hear. So we'll see.
And the
Another
best
thing popped up in October. So we'll see.
Okay. That's because you're in high demand.
Ugh, I'm so tired.
And if you
I
want
can't wait to see you.
And if you want to keep up to date with Adam and all these different dates for all these different brew festers, see what's going on in the Brew Lab, you just follow him on all social media. It's at @bash_brew on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, and on X. If you know what's going on with the boys down here at the Jojitorium, we were at Decaying WTB on all social media. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, Threads, and YouTube. So from our respective houses, we're doing this over Zoom. Until next time, cheers.
I think my grandma could beat up Elon Musk.
He'll back out of the fight, though.
Wuss.